Alright. Well, nobody's here right now, but that's okay. Because I am just going to be working on my own, as I always do. What we've got here right now is a little game design document. I didn't base it off of any template or anything. I just kind of wrote what I was doing. I wrote the core mechanic. It's a breathing mechanic where this monster that's chasing you, exploring an ever-changing subway station as you are relentlessly chased by an unknown threat. This monster is chasing you, and the way it finds you is from sounds. So you're breathing, stuff like that. So you must hold your breath when it gets close to you, in order to hide from it. Now that being said, your breath, you will have limited stamina, lung capacity. I don't know. So your stamina will affect how long you can hold your breath for. So that's going to be what I'm working on today is more the ever-changing subway station thing. So what I want to do is kind of work out a system to kind of generate a subway station that you'll be exploring that's going to change every time you exit your current room. So you're basically never going to be able to orient yourself. It's just kind of like a endless exploration of this subway station. So I kind of want to break it down into two different modes. There's going to be a story mode where you kind of go from station to station. That's a kind of story mode trying to escape the subway stations. And then, of course, there's going to be just like an endless survival mode where you try to survive as long as you can, which is what I'm going to be working on for prototyping. The actual story mode I will probably work on my own. As for the endless survival mode, I will be doing that on stream, I suppose, at least when I can. So we're going to be working on this part, explore an ever-changing subway station today. And if we got time, we'll move on to a different part. So this right here is the game project. This is the little starter test room I made. It's not very good looking. I just kind of whipped it together. Prototyping art, I suppose. And then you've got like this little square guy. So basically, this is all you can do in the game right now. You can literally just move. You might see this little kind of like semicircle showing up right next to the character. That's just like a little debugging kind of thing, so I can see where your character will be facing in order to interact with things, such as vending machines, other stuff. I still got to figure out what exactly you'll be able to find in this game. We'll see. So what I'm going to work on today is basically adding a door right here in this area. You walk through it, you end up in a new room, and then you can try and go back, and it'll be a different room, maybe, possibly, probably. That's the whole thing we're working on. So what I think I'm going to start with is just creating a sprite. This is going to be kind of a higher resolution game. I kind of wanted to have a lot of pixels, so to speak. So it kind of looks pixel arty right now, but it probably won't be. I don't know. We'll see. I might have to change the resolution, but I got to figure that out pretty early on so I don't have to change a ton. OBJ door. Oh, I made an object. Well, I might as well move that up there. SPR door. And we'll just give it a little like blue square right there. So when you go to object door, what we're gonna do is give it a create event. We're gonna give yourself a new X, new Y, and new room. Okay. So, let me make a script here so we can have some functions going down. Name, room. Oh, no. We'll do it miscellaneous functions, I'll say, for now. Then function do change room. We'll just basically go obj player dot x is equal to new x. Obj player dot y is equal to new y. Or maybe we'll do other dot x and other dot y. Room is equal to new room, or room go to, actually. Room go to new room. Basically, what I'm going to be doing with this script is whenever we collide with a door object, we are going to run this little function and go to the new room. So in the player, I'll probably break it up a bit. In the oh no, it's doing that thing where none of, oh, okay, cool. Right here I've got the code. I'll probably break these down into their own scripts in a bit here. Honestly, why don't I just do that now? I'm gonna take this and we'll make a new script. Just call it player functions. Do input. Oh. There we go. So now we've got global input right here. So any object that I need to access the player's input can access it. So then in the player, we'll just do input. Then we'll do collide, because we are going to take our collision code and put it into its own function. There we go. And then what else have we got here? RPG player. Then we've got this whole movement. So we'll just, besides this, which I'll just move down here, the rest is going into its own movement script. We'll just call it function free movement. Oh wait, let's do player free state. There we go. The player is free. And then what we'll do is in OBG player, we will do script, or yeah, execute state. And then in the create event, state is equal to player free state. That should all work. It works. We collide, we move, we laugh, we cry. All right. What I want to do is probably get rid of that little debug circle there. So now we just need to work on what happens when we collide with the door. So we're going to go into our collide state here, and we'll say if place, or we'll say actually var doer is equal to instance position xy obj door. So once we are returning the ID of the instance we are colliding with there, and then if door does not equal no one, then we're gonna say with the door object, we are going to change room. Awesome. So that should all work. What we just need to do is place this door, right, this bad boy right here, into the room. Right there, and give it some creation code. We'll get new x equals 0, new y equals 0. So what we're going to need to do right now is probably duplicate this room. I'm going to create a parent room for all the stations to kind of inherit from. So the viewport, everything's inheriting from that. What is this asset one? We don't need that layer. We need the instance layer, I would say, but we can clear the instances. So we need to clear the instances here. I don't know. We're just kind of building a empty room for everything to inherit from. So here's the parent. What we want to do is also make sure the player is persistent. We'll make this parent room right here, and everything is going to be a child of it. So this thing needs to actually, we need to make it, give it a parent. Can we actually give it a parent after it's been made? Probably not. Also, I want to duplicate this and make an initialization. So when we're creating the player, we just go to the room. Player is persistent. An initialization. We're gonna place that, and then we're gonna delete the player in. Okay, hold on. Delete that. We're gonna delete the player in this room so it doesn't create him twice, and then from this parent room, we're gonna create a child room. We'll just call it test. So in test here, we can actually place a bit of walls, just to kind of create some the different kind of stuff, and then we'll place some doors in here. And we'll just say that one we need to give a creation code. Well, Maybe not. Maybe we just don't give a creation code. And this one we do. In the creation code, we are going to make sure new room is equal to room test. And then the X and Y of the player should be around 145, 500. 145, 500, 145, 500. 145, 500. Now, let's see if this works. Oh, player's gone. Oh, you know what? We probably spawned in the... Actually, I don't know. Hold on. Our player's not showing up. How can it be? When we create the player, we're going to room station. Are we just not... We're drawing ourselves here. Maybe we just delete the... Okay, I'm gonna clean this up a bit. Okay, in the player, let's just delete the draw event here. Delete event. I don't know, that might be messing up some stuff. No, they're still here. They're still not showing up. Huh. Well, 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 well. This is a bit of a pickle. Let's see. What's happening? Oh, you know what it is? I forgot to change the initialization room to be the first one we go to. Yeah. Yeah, now it works. Yeah, okay. So now I'm gonna... And now I'm in a new room. And this one is going to have a error, which is fine. That was expected. I didn't put anything in its creation code, so I gotta make sure I put stuff in the creation code whenever it happens. So, what we're gonna need to do, what I'm thinking of doing, is just creating like a bunch of prefabricated rooms that can be randomly populated with stuff. So what that means is just like the room layout, including the doors and the walls, are all prefabricated, designed by me, and then everything else inside the room. So I'm eating a tomato. Everything inside the room will be like objects and stuff will be generated like just randomly. Let's say we'll probably have like a manager object inside all of the rooms that'll be like if this room, then choose to spawn this stuff, you know, probably like a yeah okay. So in that case, I'm gonna make 3 prefabricated rooms to test with. And somehow set up the mechanic for the doors to choose a random room to spawn next. Now what I'm thinking is what we'll do is probably set up a script that holds like global variables, maybe like a struct or something, that will just hold each variable within the struct. Each entry is going to hold probably like an array of maybe not an array. I don't know. No, maybe an array instead of a struct, because they're all going to be like one variable type, a room. So you would get within the array, you would choose basically just choose which room within that array to spawn you into, I suppose. And none of the rooms can be persistent. That's one thing. No, none of the rooms can be persistent. The only persistent thing would be the player. Yeah. And probably a few manager objects that will kind of in the future we'll probably have a manager object for the monster that'll kind of decide where the monster is in relation to the player, like how far it is. If they're moving through rooms quickly, then it'll probably be set on like an alarm, you know. Every time you don't move to another room, that alarm keeps going down or whatever. Now that being said, that would probably open up some like cheating to like, oh, just go through a bunch of rooms to avoid the monster and run away from it. I could see that being the case. I don't know. I have to figure that out. How exactly I'm going to tell when the monster is near the player or not. Maybe just changing rooms isn't enough. Maybe I do it like it's just a regular timer that goes down regardless of whether or not you're in one place, you know. Even though that's a little bit unintuitive or counterintuitive, yeah. I'll figure it out. Okay, test room. Let's just fill this baby up. Yo, fill it up. Anyway. Probably put another door on the end here. Go. Okay, that's one room. We'll call it room 1 station 1. Okay. Then we'll probably just duplicate these, honestly, and go through the creation code of all of them. That means we're gonna have to go back to the creation code here, and probably. Yeah. I still don't know why I have an assets layer on that room. Creation code. Room station. Oh, it automatically does. I forget GameMaker 2 does that. How convenient. Alright. Oh, Control D on that one. Room 2. Station 2. I'll probably make this room bigger so there's more to explore. So we're gonna delete that, delete that, yada yada yada. Delete that. Ooh, you know what? One thing that we're gonna have to figure out is the X and Y in which you should show appear in each room. Cause I can't just have one like X. So I'm guessing what's probably gonna have to happen within each of the doors that we create, it's gonna have to do a roll once, and based off of that roll, choose variables. As opposed to rolling for every single variable, because then you're gonna get some weird, kind of happenings, I suppose. Okay. So, let's give this one, say, 2500 by 2000. Bit of a bigger room here. And we'll give it kind of like a little maze kind of look. Maybe not a maze, just, well. So then we could put some doors there. Control D. Or how do I duplicate object? That's maybe I could just, yeah, there we go. Da-da-da. So there we go. We have a room there. And then we're gonna need a third room. Room 3, station 1. Why does that one say station 2? Probably because I typed them. Anyway. We'll probably change the dimensions of this one to 2000 by 2000. Well, so why not? Yeah. And we can just kind of like shorten this a bit. Yep. There we go. That's a good third room. So 1, 3, or 2, 3, 1. Okay, so those are 3 rooms that we have made. Now, what I'm thinking is within OBJ door, we can make this an array of just random numbers, or no. Okay, I'm thinking we're gonna make a script. All right, come on, just okay. So we're gonna make a script, and we're gonna name this room data. This is going to basically, we're gonna do global dot room data is equal to, and we're gonna do a struct, or no, an array, and then we're gonna just have different rooms. We'll say probably want like station 1 is equal to, and then you can make that an array. Because I want different stations, so I'm gonna try and make this kind of like scalable, you know. So station 1, then oh hey Toba Fett, Cam the Astro. I suppose I could like make a struct here, and we'll just say 1 And we'll say new X is equal to, I don't even know right now. New room is equal to room 1, station 1. Oh, wait, structs don't use semicolons. Right. And they also don't use equal signs. Okay, then we could do two new X 0. I could probably just copy and paste that, honestly. And then we'll do room 2, station 1. And I'm just going to copy this whole thing. For future streams, you should make your images mouth flap. Yeah, I was wanting to do that. I should definitely do that. I'll have to figure out how to do that. To be honest, I have no idea how. 3 station 1. There we go. So now we've got the 3 different rooms. We're just going to have to figure out X's into here. And let's see. So, 1. This means that you're going to go to room 1. So you're going to want to, we're going to want to go into here. And figure out, what did we figure out? Something about like 140 and 500. 145, 500, I think was 500. Yeah, those were the coordinates. Station 2, we could say you pop up here. So 2300, 350. 2300, 350. And then station 3, let's say you just pop up over here. Let's do 1820 by 585. 1820, 585. Oh boy. So now I got to figure out how to actually do this. So I'm thinking what happens is we are going to basically within here, instead of the new X, new Y, whatever, you know, instead of that, we are just going to have a room type, maybe. And then when you actually get the creation code, possibly we don't even need creation code to begin with. You could just say, instead of creation code, choose, let's get something here. Let's do room data is equal to global dot room data. Dot station, or yeah, station 1. What do we got here? I gotta see how I did this. I could just say station 1. Yeah. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. So station 1. Within this object, so we're going to pull station 1's arrays in here. The array of station 1. And then we're going to choose within room data, room data dot one, room data dot two, room data dot three. So we're returning that, and then we'll just say new x is equal to room type dot new x, and yeah. And then new room is equal to room type dot new room. This might work. The identifier station 1 is declared as a local variable. It cannot be accessed in this way. It says you. I don't know. I gotta try it. I'll probably get an error. But what do I need to do now? I probably want to add a randomize somewhere. I'll just do it in the player for now, since I'm kind of just initializing within the player, but pretty soon here I'm going to have like a game manager object. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what happens. Oh, not set before reading at station 1. Door. Room data is equal to global dot room data dot station 1. Man, I don't know. Could I do that? The identifier 1 is declared as a local variable, cannot be accessed this way. Well, I've done it before. I don't know why you're getting at me now. Maybe I gotta like pull a specific no. Room data. So I don't know, what if I changed it into a struct? Because it's, as an array, it might be angry about that. Because arrays work kind of differently within. So then we'll go to door. That might work now. Let's see. Oh, I forgot. I haven't set up a camera. That would probably helpful. That would be helpful. Yeah, that would definitely be helpful. Okay, let's do alt 0 obj cam. We'll just say follow is equal to no one, or let's say if instance exists obj player follow is equal to obj player, else follow is equal to no one. Then we're gonna say x2 equal to 0, y2 equal to 0. We could do step, just say follow target if follow does not equal no one, x2 is equal to follow.x, y2 equal follow.y. Why? Then we'll do x is equal to x minus, or yeah, x minus follow dot x, or no, x2. Y is equal to y minus y2. I don't know. That might work. I should probably just do like a 0.3 here to kind of give it a little bit of smoothing. And then we'll do init right there. And then within room parent, we'll say, now hopefully all the childs will inherit this. Follow obj cam and horizontal border. Boy, is that the viewport or the camera? It's probably the camera properties. I don't know. 1920 divided by 2. Oh boy, big maths. I don't know. Let me just get a calculator out and do it. $19.20 divided by 2. $9.60. We'll do a $10.80 divided by 2. $5.40. There we go. I'm sure none of them inherited that. Yeah, none of them. Oh, well, this one did. This one inherited. The start wouldn't, probably, because it's not a child, technically. So, 540, was it 720 or what? What was it? 1920. 960. That was it. Okay. Now let's try it. Oh, you know what? The cam is not persistent. That's why. Okay. I have the randomize here. I don't know. We should be getting a new seed every time. What if I put randomize here? And yet, the camera is not following. Perhaps in station 3 it's not inherited. No, it is. But we're not in station 3. Station 2, it's also inherited. Enable. Yeah. Cam. If follow does not equal no one, which it doesn't, it should. Okay, we'll show a debug message. Cam. Did it? Yep, cam. So it's getting the follow here. If I go back, am I? Interesting. Okay. Let's see. If follow does not equal no one, x2 is equal to follow.x, y2, okay. Maybe I gotta do x2 minus x. or y2 minus x. Man, I don't know. Maybe this is a plus equal. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, it's sort of working. What? What was that? Huh. Okay. This seems to kind of work for some reason. Maybe the border is too big. Maybe it's the viewport instead of the camera. I don't know. 1280 divided by 2. 640. It might be actually because the initialization is not also doing this. So let's do 960 because I'm pretty sure the first room kind of sets the standard for how all these behave. So all the other rooms behave. So that ain't working. Now, why is that? Man, you know, out of procedural generation, well, is this procedural? No, it's just random. Well, yeah, no, it's random. From this task, I would not imagine the camera would be the problem here. And no, that is the camera. Okay. Camera. I don't know. Maybe I'll just open up a new IDE and look at what other projects I use the camera for. Maybe I'm remembering the formula wrong. I really don't know. What's one I use? Okay. Opening up an older project here. Okay. Let's look into the camera here. You can't see what I'm looking at, but that's okay. I have a camera object. Yeah, there we go. Step. I don't know, what if I did this? Oh, I didn't set the cam width at all. Nope. Cam width, cam height. What is the camera width? 1920 by 1080? That's the resolution, at least. Huh. Well, now that works. Interesting. Interesting. And it also would seem that the random generation works too. So that's pretty exciting. I like how the random generation wasn't the problem. It was the freaking camera. Interesting. I might have some problems with kind of directional kind of stuff. But it would seem things are working as planned. I should probably do in the change script, in the change room script, a little bit of things, a little modification so the camera doesn't also jump around. So we'll say objcam.x is equal to new x. Oops, excuse me. Dot y is equal to new y. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is remove in station 1 the creation code, or no, start station. I'm gonna remove the creation code for this because we don't need it anymore. So I'm gonna close all these rooms and clean up the workspace. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Now, we should get entirely random rooms now. And that seems to be the case. Yeah, we got random It looks like you just kind of got into the same room, just kind of teleported. That'll be fixed with just like randomly generating objects that are inside the room now. So I think I've got that part done. So just getting random rooms together, and I made it, would say pretty flexible, at least at my skill level, which is not very high. Because as soon as you need to add a new room, you just add and choose one. And I might change this to maybe like a random roll or whatever. And some rooms will have more of a chance of showing up than others. Specifically, in the story mode, there would be a room for, maybe not actually, or yeah, actually there would be a room, the subway station room, like where the actual subway train is. It would be there, and it would show up less often than other rooms, I would say, because the whole point of the story mode is to basically find the subway token, so you can buy a new ticket for the subway and get to the next station and eventually escape the subway stations. So that room would probably show up a lot less. Likewise, the token. But the token, I might have it that it just spawns in any room, really. You could find the token in any room. It just has a very low chance of it. And maybe a higher chance as you play. The longer you play, it has a higher chance or something like that. I'm eating another tomato. Okay. So, let's look. Ever-changing subway station. Check. Relentlessly chased by an unknown threat. Now, that one, I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do that. Definitely want to try, so these are the ones I want to kind of get together. If I can, maybe like all in this stream, I could probably get it. So we have an ever-changing subway station. Now we need to add a monster, a threat that chases us. So let's start by, I suppose, making that threat. I'll probably duplicate the player. Just giving this guy like, I don't know, darker thing. Now here's kind of what I wanted it to be. My idea. As the monster gains on you, your breathing will quicken. A black vignette serves as a visual tell, the breathing and audio tell. So I suppose that means like, people with hearing issues will be able to still kind of see what the hell's going on, or if you're listening to a podcast and you just don't want to listen to the actual sounds of the game, that will probably help as a visual tell. So what we want is that means we gotta figure out where the monster is in relation to the player. The problem is we can't check which room the monster is in. These rooms basically get destroyed. As soon as we leave them, they're gone. It's an ever-changing subway station. So how do we tell where the monster is in relation to player? Here's just a couple different ways. I'm thinking of an alarm. We'll just have like a game manager object that will kind of manage specifically the monster, and we'll just have an alarm. And basically, that alarm's going to count down. And once it counts all the way down, we can spawn the monster to the player. Now, I can see other troubles arising. What happens when the player goes to the next room? Well, obviously we'll spawn the monster again, probably off a timer, give it some time, But where do we spawn the monster? Maybe we can retain the new X of that door and basically just give the monster that as well. We could probably do that. But would that mean the monster is going to be a persistent object? Probably not. We'll just say in that monster manager, maybe there's a room start event in Game Maker. Upon room start, if chase sequence is happening, we'll maybe have like a variable that will like a global variable that will let us know that a chase is happening. If a chase is happening, then the monster will spawn. We can say when room starts, if chase happening, set an alarm. And then after that alarm's down, the monster appears in that room to chase the player. So we can do that. Now, I do want to give the monster a faster walking speed than the player. That way, the player will have to kind of the player will have to use like a sprint, I'd say, and then the breathing mechanic. Both of those mechanics, sprint and breathing, are going to take stamina. So if you want to hold your breath, it's going to take stamina. Now, maybe you can't outrun the monster, you know, and you're gonna have to start holding your breath. Now you're gonna have to basically balance at what point do you just start holding your breath instead of running? When is it futile, to run? I'd say running is probably the easier way out than the holding the breath. At least that's how I want it, I think. Yeah. Now to figure out how to actually make this work in game. I suppose we'll have a monster object. We'll give it a sprite here. I also want this black vignette to kind of grow as it gets closer, always obscuring the monster, I don't really want people to see the monster, it might detract from the horror. And in liminal space, I think the scariest thing about liminal space is the lack of life in them. It's like being completely and utterly alone, That's part of the horror of it. So as soon as you have a sentient life in it, especially visible, then it detracts from the horror. I'm willing to compromise that with the player because, well, how else would you really experience the world without a player player to play it in? Unless it's just a bird watching simulator. But even then, the birds wouldn't be there because there's no life. Anyways, yeah. So I want this monster object. And we can say, as soon as it is created, we're gonna give it a speed of, what's the speed of the player? 10. So then the monster is gonna get a speed of 15. We'll say. Then we'll say, upon the step of it, you move towards point. Player.x be player.y at speed. Fairly simple AI for the monster. At the moment, at least, it would probably become more complicated, especially with the breathing mechanic. What we're gonna need upon the breathing mechanic is something for the monster to do, like, I don't know, maybe like sniff or search for the player, and then eventually go away because it only can hear the player. It can't see the player. So let's before we get to that, let's just get a manager object now. Monster spawner. So upon creation, and we'll make this a persistent object. Upon creation, we are going to set an alarm. Alarm 0, blah blah blah. What are we going to set it to? I should probably get a macros script here too, so we can keep track of macros. Macro res w, which is 1920. Macro, nope. Res h, which is 1080. Macro, what was I doing? Game speed equal to, oh no, not equal. Game speed is going to get game get speed, yeah, game speed FPS. Here we go. Then what we're gonna do, in monster spawner. Well, actually, what I want to do is obj cam, set the cam width to res w, cam height to res h. So that way, if we ever change the resolution, we just do that pretty much. Then we'll go to obj monster spawner. We'll do game speed. I don't know. Maybe we'll, for testing purposes, we'll give it 10 seconds. So basically, with the alarm, it goes off of frames. So if you do the 60 frames per second times 10, you're doing, well, 600 frames, which means that is 10 seconds. 600 divided by 10 is 60. Yeah. Anyways, alarm. So upon alarm, no, I just blew straight into the mic. Sorry for that. Let's see. I guess we'll do instance create layer x, y, or where do we want to create the monster? Probably want to do it like, obj player dot x minus obj player dot h speed. Yeesh. That could end up being 0 if the player is standing still. That's the problem. I could add, but then you might even get like a 0 anyway if it's a negative number. So I just kind of want to, for right now, I'll just do 100. I'll figure out a formula for this later. Player.y minus 40. And then layer. Can I just put layer? I know sometimes it doesn't let me do that. I'm just going to do it the safe way. Layer get ID. Instances. Then of course, the object, obj monster. And then I guess we won't reset this. So let's put this guy in initialization, monster spawner. I wonder what's gonna happen. There it is. The monster has shown up. Again, it does it at that speed, 15, so probably want it to not be so quick. Maybe. Like it would eventually maybe it can get faster as it gets closer to the player? I don't know. Clearly it's moving too fast though. So let's do 11. I don't know. Now it has shown up. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe this isn't the right function I want to use. Maybe you could do sort of like the camera where you do a x obj player.x minus x y plus equals obj player.y minus equals y or minus y times or by speed, maybe. Would that be fast? I don't know. Let's see. I'm thinking I could probably spawn the monster like just kind of randomly in the room, but of course you run the risk of, oh. Well. Let's just do 0.3 right now. You run the risk of the monster spawning directly on top of the player. Huh. Maybe it's gotta been equal instead of a plus equals. Okay. Well, that's not great. How do I do it in the camera? Well, there's a plus equals. I wonder, could we add a camera sprite? What if we did that? Well, let's do SPR cam. I want to see how the camera does it. We'll just give it a little. I don't know. Then we go to OBJ cam. I just want to see. Anyway. Yeah, the camera seems to do it fine. Yeah, it just follows like that. Oh, there's the monster. Hey. Came out like a guy trying to sell me candy. Anyway. Or not sell me. Give me candy for free. Supposedly. Okay. Just copy this. I think I understood what I did wrong. I forgot to put it in parentheses. PEMDAS. I don't So let's go to monster. Do it like this. And we'll just do obj player dot x obj player dot y. Why? The problem is, it will eventually catch up to you as long as you, even if you keep moving, it will be trailing behind. Yeah. Maybe I just do a little pathfinding system. I don't know. I was trying to like avoid that, but you know, it might just be that might just be how I have to do it. Let's see, MP linear path or linear step. Yeah, we'll do this. Linear step. We want the obj player dot x, obj player dot y. We'll just do speed, check all, false. Who cares? We don't need to check that. As soon as it shows up, it's gonna just start following me. Now, how fast will it follow me? Who can tell? I wonder if I just make it much slower. Let's make it an 8. I don't know. And when it spawns, we'll give it instead a random, we'll say random range 0 room width. Oh yeah. I gotta put it in the XX. Var y equals random range 0 room height. Then we just do XX. Why? Anyway. Just choose a random range. You can do it, buddy. There we go. Now he's moving. And of course he can move through walls, so this is working. Yeah. I want him to move through walls. He's a monster, whatever. It can, and he's going to be obscured anyway. You won't see that he's moving through walls, but you'll definitely feel paranoid, I suppose. I suppose I should just give him like a shorter, maybe a smaller speed. I don't know. Monster. What's the speed? I gave him a speed. Let's do like 6. 6. Okay, so when this thing's happening, when this alarm goes down, then we'll just say global, your mom anyway, global chase is equal to true. I don't know. Maybe when we create it, we'll just say global.chase is equal to false. And basically, when room starts, where is it? Other room start. Okay. If global.chase, then we'll just set an alarm 1 to game speed. We'll give you like 3-second head start. Why not? And then upon alarm 1, we are just going to, I mean, you could just do alarm 0, I suppose. It's basically doing the same thing. Of course, maybe I want to change the parameters upon that. Man, I don't know. All right, let's see. What should happen is as soon as this monster spawns, when we start moving through rooms, it's going to keep spawning after like 3 seconds. Yep, okay, so we're gonna go over here. Monster is gone right now. Monster should have, yep, it is now here. Good. There it is. Ah, ha, 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 ha. There we go. We kind of got it working now. Oh. I suppose what you could do to try and escape is just keep going back and forth like this, you know. Now I'm wondering how I could combat that. You know, if you're just moving through the rooms back and forth, you know, like thinking of how you can I go through that? Okay. But yeah, this monster has killed us. Anyways, I'm gonna have to figure out how to combat that. I don't know. Okay, but the monster is now alive. It's alive. So we got that going for us. I suppose now we're gonna have to we'll say we're gonna have to give it a criteria for when to end the chase. I say after a certain amount of time, if the monster is not close enough to the player after a certain amount of time, then we'll just say the chase ends. And we could say that and then we can also like add to that alarm, you know, we'll just add some upon certain events, like we could say like if the player isn't moving, add to that alarm. Yeah. Yeah, for every time, for every amount of frames that the player is not moving, they should then the alarm will add some like seconds to the alarm. So we'll say upon creation. Okay, so I actually am going to now do alarm 1 equals game speed, because now I'm going to kind of copy this a bit. Oop, excuse me. And we'll just say that again, I guess. Oh, hey. Gus is playing Baldur's Gate. Good for him. Instance create. Your mom. I don't know. Okay. When this happens, then we are going to set alarm 2 to your mom. Let's say how long do we want this chase sequence to go for? I don't know, 30 seconds. We can say for testing purposes, let's do 20. And then at alarm 2, and check chase sequence. We'll say if instance exists, obj monster, because we want to check the distance of the monster from the player, and if the monster doesn't exist, we're going to get an error. Else we'll say if it doesn't exist, we'll just set this alarm again to another few seconds, like game speed times 3, let's say. So that might be a good way to actually combat the just going through different rooms, because as soon as you start going through different rooms, that monster is not going to exist. So the monster's never going to despawn. The chase sequence is never going to end. So you're never going to make any progress, I think. Yeah. Okay. So I might have to tweak that to kind of make it a little more, I don't know, balanced. But we'll say, what is it giving me an error for, huh? An assignment was spec. Oh, maybe I just. Usually I can just do a little one-line thing, but. Oh. I'm stupid. I can do that. I just gotta press an equal there instead of a multiplication. We'll say point distance from obj monster.x, obj what's it looking for? Obj monster.y, obj player.x, player.y. So we'll do if point direction is greater than 100 pixels, maybe, or to be forgiving, 50 pixels, then we are going to global.chase is equal to false. Alarm 0 is equal to game speed times 60. We'll just give you another minute or so. And then also instance destroy obj monster. Yeah, it's gonna let loose. He's gonna. Oh boy. So I'm thinking to introduce the breathing mechanic, we can just say if the distance is this, or you are, or maybe we can affect the, we can, yeah, actually, I'm thinking instead of what I was about to just say, we could probably affect the pathfinding of the monster if the player is breathing. So it will actually grow some distance between the player and the monster, and we might end the sequence from that. Okay, so this should work. How long did I want this? Alarm 2 is going to be set to 20 seconds. Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. This should work. We shall see. Is the monster going to show up? There it is. Oh. Come on. Get some distance between us. Distance, distance, distance. Ah, monster. Come on, come on. Getting okay. That worked. Monster disappeared. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna have to up that pixel distance then. If I was that close to the monster and it just disappeared, like, yeah, we're gonna have to up that pixel distance. But for testing purposes, that does work. We're gonna have to give the player a sprint in order to make this a little more fair. So we'll get it to 200 pixels for testing purposes. And then, and then we're gonna get a sprint speed. We're gonna make it 15. And then in the freeze state of the player, what is this? Oh, this is my macros. I should rename this. The player function input. I don't need that. I don't need the collide. I need this one. What should the sprint button be? Maybe shift? Yeah. Let's do sprint is equal to, honestly, you could even make the input function a struct instead, like a global variable, and like kind of change the values or whatever. But I might actually do that later. Check. Yeah. VK shift. Yeah, if I make it a struct, that'll make it easier to reassign keys, I guess. Okay. So if sprint speed is speed is equal to your mom. No, sprint speed. Ooh, and then we got to do a walk speed actually as well. So then what you can do is take speed down here and change it into walk speed. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll say player functions sprint speed is equal to sprint speed, else speed is equal to walk speed. And then you could probably do an add for like if stamina is greater than or equal to 0 or greater than 0. Yeah, let's actually do that now. It's greater than 0. And then we'll say stamina. Let's give it a 10. I don't even know how to scale like stamina. To be honest, I've never done like a stamina kind of thing before, so I don't know. Maybe you would just every as soon as you press it, you would as soon as you pressed the sprint button, your stamina would go down. But not every frame, right? I don't know. Maybe you could do like game speed times. Yeah, what if you did that? Game speed times. So that means let's do like you'd have 8 seconds or 5 seconds of stamina. And then we do like in the player function. Nope, not room data, player function. You do like stamina minus every frame. Then we could do like a show debug message. Oh. Okay, and then you can do else and then we probably need to do a max stamina. And then we'll say player functions. Approach. No. Just trying to use a function I don't have. Anyways, we'll just do if stamina is less than max stamina. We can just do like a little, yeah, if stamina is less than max stamina, then stamina is equal to the maximum or minimum. Yeah, minimum, because I think you get the minimum value from here. Minimum stamina plus 1 or max stamina. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Ah! A monster. Uh-oh. A monster. Anyway. Where's this monster? And we believe. Somebody help me tame this animal. Somebody help me from this nightmare. I can't escape myself. Anyway. Somebody wake me from this nightmare. I can't escape this hell. No! Maybe 200 pixels was too much. Ah! No! Please, stay away. Yeah, 200 pixels might be too much. We could say, instead, 100 pixels. That should be a little more forgiving. Oh boy. Sorry, I was just stretching. Come on, where is this monster? Okay, there we go. I might have to tweak that a bit and just make it feel better, but so far, you were relentlessly chased by an unknown threat. That works. Now, this is the last one that I want to get to. Your breathing betrays you. Hold your breath to hide. Now that one, I'm definitely gonna have to think about. I might try and do it. I kind of want to end at 2 hours, so in 15 minutes we'll probably end this stream. So I'm definitely gonna try and man, I don't know. I'll try and think about how I want to do this. It would be stamina again. So so input, we'll do another hold. We might do it like control keyboard check VK control. Basically, as long as you are pressing that, so we'll do or if sprint or hold and stamina is greater than, then we'll just say if sprint, we'll do that one. Otherwise our stamina is going to go down. Else our stamina is going to go up. Yeah. So I guess what we're going to want to do is try and communicate to the monster that we are no longer breathing and that the monster cannot hear us anymore. If hold, then we'll just say global dot hold breath is equal to true. And we'll say player is going to have this global variable. Global hold breath is equal to false when he's created. Getting a lot of stats here. Okay. We're gonna do actually speed, stamina, input, state, globals. Okay. So, I'm just doing a bit of organizing, which I probably shouldn't do because I got like 10 minutes left to do this. So, we'll say if not global dot hold breath, then we're gonna do this. We might just do this and then we'll say x2 is equal to 0, y2 is equal to 0. Then we'll do x2 y2. Then we'll say x2 is equal to, okay, so if we're not holding our breath, then they're gonna chase the player. Y2 is equal to obj player dot y. x2 is equal to, I don't know, 0. y2 is equal to 0. I'm gonna have to figure out something for that. Huh. We could do obj player.x plus choose negative 300 obj player.y plus choose negative 300 yeah, so it's just going to go 300 pixels away from you, and that's going to ensure that wherever they went, they are out of your range, and by the time the alarm is done, they'll disappear. So, yeah. So what do I want to do here? I gotta figure out how this works. So, figure out how it works. I made it anyway. Initial. Why is that? Initialize. Yeah. Alarm 0. We are spawning monster / start chase. And alarm 1, we are spawning monster / continuing chase. Check chase sequence. Room start. Okay, so check chase sequence. There we go. Alarm 2. So alarm 2 is equal to 20 seconds. So by if you're lucky here, 20 seconds is I suppose what you could do is how would you know that the chase sequence is almost over? Because you're gonna have to, in order to use the breathing mechanic effectively, you'd have to know that the chase sequence is almost over. You'd have to survive long enough before the chase sequence is over. Maybe you could do like a maybe you could do like a what is a visual indication you can use? Maybe the black vignette would falter. Because if you just shorten the alarm as soon as you hold your breath, why even run, you know? Like, yeah, all you'd have to do is hold your breath. Oh boy. Let's just see how this works. Stamina's going down. Okay. Let's see what happens. Huh. That's weird. What's the monster doing? If not global... Yeah. 5 minutes to figure this out. Okay. He's normal. Then I do that and he freaks out. And he does not fix himself. Now, what happened with that? Every step we're updating it, so he should stop that. x2 equals obj dot x, oh wait, player dot x plus choose negative 300 or 300. Okay. MP linear step. What if I got rid of this? Huh. Okay. I suppose it's as soon as you press it, it's just completely oscillating between the two the entire time, you know? I guess, I want them to just, maybe I could do a, ran x choose. When they're created, they can just choose one instead of choosing one as soon as. Okay. 300. Then we'll just say x2 is equal to obj player.x random x obj player.y random y. Okay. 2 minutes. See if I can get the core mechanic working in 2 minutes. Okay, so he's working normal. And now he doesn't switch back. Oh, do we not switch back? That's probably why. Yeah. Step. Oh, it should be in player functions. Else, we'll say global dot hold breath equal to false. There we go. Okay, that should work. Okay, so I can just press that, and it's going to go to random place, and now it's going to go back to me. Oh, okay. I think what you could do is even just like, hold your breath to make it go away from you, and then you can keep running, and it'll start chasing you. Ooh, okay. Maybe even instead of OBJ player, you can do its own X and Y instead. Which might end up giving you, which might end up running them towards the player, but that's the risk that's a risk I am willing to take. I can hold my breath for this long. Now I am no longer holding my breath. So it should be coming towards me now. Or maybe it's gone. Oh, nope. Here it is. That's funny. And now it's gone. Okay. Well, that's kind of working. I'm definitely gonna have to tweak things to make it really feel good. I'm gonna have to like add the vignette so the monster itself is obscured. Um, but generally, that is the whole core mechanic. All the endless subway, the monster chasing. It's all there. It just needs to be polished and technically I have the minimum viable product of what I want at the end of that, which is nice. Which means I could just send it to people and see how fun it is. And if it's not fun, well, I'll have to go back to the drawing board. But thank you, anybody who is watching. I love you. I will see you next time.